People in the old days could put out a couple of boxes, come back at the end of the summer and pick up their honey. You know, those days are over. The mites have to be treated, or the hives die pretty much. So I'm Jody Moore, and I have a beekeeping business called Rocky River Bees here in Chatham County. Got 40 hives in 7 different locations across the county. I've been beekeeping since about the year 2000. I started with one mail order package from Georgia that came through the U.S. Post Office, and I'll never forget that lady handing me that box of live bees. You know? It's just like ticks carry diseases from animal to animal. The mites can carry diseases from hive to hive. The diseases that these mites are now vectoring, they're new diseases that have come up that just we've never seen before. Parasitic mite syndrome, things like this. They look a lot like other old diseases like European foul brood. It's even harder to treat for stuff that you can't totally identify. One of the problems is I could keep my hives clean, but my neighbor 3 houses down maybe doesn't check for mites or treat for mites. Well, they're just going to reinfect everything I've fought against. So one of the things we can do to combat the mites is to educate folks so that they know how to treat for mites, how to look for mites, how to count, how to do mite counts in their hive, and stay on top of it so it doesn't become a serious issue. The county supports Chatham County Beekeepers Association. They let us use their facilities, so we have monthly meetings, we have a bee school. So we've all heard that 1 in 3 bites of food comes from a pollinated source. So even meat, you know, if you think about it, cattle have to eat feed, and things like alfalfa are pollinated by bees. So it's not just fruits and vegetables, which are the first things we think of. It's across the whole grocery store basically. And they're pollinating machines. If you ever look at a bee up close, it's covered in hair. Its whole design is to pollinate. Each individual bee isn't an individual. It's almost viewed as the entire colony is an individual. So people see this in their yard and they panic and run in and get the can of Rage, you know, when actually those bees aren't going to hurt anybody in that particular situation. We've got like a hotline at the Chatham County, and most counties do have a beekeeping hotline, and a beekeeper will come out typically and capture that swarm to take it home and rehive it and give it a home. Another thing individuals can do to help local beekeepers and stuff is buying local honey, because it gives them a reason to continue keeping bees locally, and it's something individuals can do to kind of help support that whole industry without ever even having to get really involved with bees. You can also plant flowers in the dead of summer when you would think would be a bee heaven. There's a dearth. So there's a big spring flow of nectar and there's a fall flow, but all those months right in the middle of summer, there's almost no food at all. If we're all kind of on the same page, it does help, because then everybody's kind of fighting the same fight.